Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here, youtube.com/Steven Larson. Also taped live at twitch.tv/Steven Larson. And of course, found everywhere in the audio realm as well. Obviously, it's been a rough 48 hours for us, for the friendos, for the community. We made the announcement yesterday that our dear friend, our beautiful friend, the Enforcer Stevie Bradley, passed away. That announcement in video form, we talked about him yesterday here on the channel. And also, we put it out there on social media, and the outpouring of support and condolences and love from the friendo community, from the larger wrestling community even, has been overwhelming and very much appreciated as we navigate waters that, I mentioned to a friend yesterday, that I have led a pretty charmed life, given what I do for a living, who I get to do it with, having met all the amazing people that I've met in my life. It's not often that I deal with that I'm confronted with something like this. And to know that the Enforcer was so loved. And we've got a lot of people out there sending us their well wishes. It's very much appreciated.
It is very much.
We do have an announcement to make. We have several announcements to make. Number one, we're not doing this live right now. This is being taped. That's largely because I'm just not ready to do a live thing right now. And the first live thing I wanted to do for us would be what we're doing tonight. So typically Thursday nights is the Smash Zone time on the Twitch. It's where we goof around. It's one of the highlights of my week every single week, and I know same for you. Well, tonight we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to do Smash Zone, but we're going to be watching a lot of Enforcer clips.
Yes.
I know Rob is putting together like a best of like my GM stuff with Enforcer stuff. And so he said he should have it ready for tonight. After this, I'm going to be cutting together a bunch of stuff. It's not difficult to find because any time he was on was a good time.
Yep.
And so I'm going to be doing that. And then, so that's tonight at 6:30 p.m. Pacific, 9:30 p.m. Eastern on the Twitch, twitch.tv/Steven Larson. We're not going to do it on both channels simply because there's probably going to be some copyright stuff on there.
On YouTube.
Like, I want to show the Unsolved Mysteries limp sandwiches, and I don't know.
That's so good.
Film Rise is probably copyrighted that one. So we're going to do that on Twitch, so please join us for that. Yes. And then the other announcement pertains to, of course, our predictions challenge, which we're very excited to do every single month, and it is for the digital Big Red title. Well, as you know, as we mentioned a million times before, the current Big Red predictions champion is the Enforcer. Out of 164 people last month at WrestleMania, in his words, he won the Daytona 500. And he did that via picking his choices at 4:00 in the morning without a clear head.
Picked Roman to win the main event.
And he picked Roman to win the main event, which he regretted until the very moment Roman Reigns won, and that led to the Enforcer's big win. It was a wonderful moment.
It was fantastic.
And
absolutely fantastic.
And I talked to you about this just very briefly, and I've seen this suggestion out there amongst all the comments and whatnot. Enforcer is our forever champion.
Yep.
He is going to forever be the Big Red predictions champion. He's the last Big Red predictions champion. That being said, we love predicting things. And luckily for us, we do have a secondary logo. It's the Friendo Club logo. It's big blue. So the May predictions challenge will continue as it's happening with Larson, CD5, and two other friendos walking into the Weekend of Champions at the end of May with their 1 point advantage. The rest of us trying to play catch up to be the first Big Blue predictions champion. You will have your picture or whatever picture you want. It could be a picture of anybody, anywhere, doing anything as long as it's safe for our channel.
Maybe not everybody.
Well, yeah. I mean, there are some limits, obviously.
Yeah.
We have the right to veto, but they will have the Big Blue title, the Friendo Club Big Blue title, placed on them and become the first ever predictions champion for the Big Blue belt.
Indeed.
So there you go. Those are the announcements. And look, man, it's what we do here is talk about pro wrestling. And I think that if the Enforcer is watching us from somewhere right now, he would be thoroughly bummed out if you and I just sat here like a couple of sad mopes and didn't do what we always do, and that's just trying to make each other laugh and talk about pro wrestling.
Yeah.
I came up with an AEW banner up here. Now, I know you can't see it where you are, but there's like an AEW banner now for the AEW show.
Ooh.
So maybe that's why the numbers on AEW. Maybe the product isn't cold. Maybe people are just like, they show up, they're like, oh, I want to hear about AEW programming, and then they see like a bunch of Federation people in the banner.
I thought this was an AEW show. Click, and they go to something else.
Right, exactly.
They go to Wrestle Talk or something.
They go exactly. They do that.
Their AEW coverage.
Right, but I got the AEW people up here now. I got MJF.
That's fantastic.
And Jamie and Jade and Mox and Jericho. I have no actual elite in here, though. I got Orange Cassidy and the Acclaimed. I got the people I wanted in here.
If you did put the elite in there, by the end of the year, you might have to make some changes. Who knows?
I know, exactly. I feel like
Mox ain't going anywhere.
Everybody here, Jericho's not going anywhere. MJF, I don't think he's going anywhere. I know he threatened it, but I think he signed an extension. That's my own conspiracy theory.
That's your own conspiracy theory.
You got Orange Cassidy. He's the MVP of AEW.
Has been of late. That's true.
The Acclaim, they're great. Yeah, Jamie.
Yeah. No, but I think AEW's product is or has been pretty cold. Last night's episode was pretty solid. However, that main event was spectacular.
It was. It was also scary when Kenny Omega looked like he bent his leg backwards.
Yes.
But he seemed to be okay. He was able to hit a one-winged angel. And as we had sort of predicted, Don Callis turned on Kenny Omega with the screwdriver, screwing him out of a victory over Jon Moxley in that steel cage. Moxley was able to get the pin right afterwards. So, and Don Callis was about to stab Kenny Omega again. Instead, he just like whispered something to him.
Yeah.
I don't exactly know what it was.
Don't know. And then kissed him on the head.
Kissed him on the head. It was sort of like a goodbye kiss, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan was quite gleeful over that. He was on commentary.
Bryan Danielson the whole night on commentary when he was doing commentary for this match just was absolutely delighted by every act of violence.
Bryan Danielson.
Just absolutely.
Get that name right. It's only been a year plus.
Yeah. But the thing is now I just have to mention Daniel Bryan on WWE focused stuff. I had to say Bryan Danielson now.
Yeah, I know. I usually do that too, but lately I've been talking about Edge being stacked so often that back then it was Daniel Bryan. So that's just what's in my head these days, I guess.
Yeah.
No, I thought it was a phenomenal main event. Those guys just have terrific chemistry, and I think
they do.
The freedom that they both feel being able to absolutely clobber the crap out of each other. I mean, you saw, dude, it was like within minutes of that match, Kenny's back was tore up.
Wrecked.
That chair with the barbed wire on it was like basically a third player in that match.
Really was.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just the level of violence in the bout, which was high. A lot of it with that chair wrapped in barbed wire. It's how crisp everything was.
Oh,
that superplex spot they did was just there was no Mox didn't set his feet on the top rope. He got up there and just did it. Everything in this match was crisp.
Yeah, they've got just absolutely amazing chemistry. They really do.
It speaks to how good of wrestlers they are. I guess we got some other news here that we can kind of talk about within the context of Tony Khan's announcement next week. I guess the question is, given Bryan Danielson's acting at least as if he was completely unaware of Don Callis' turn, what's Don Callis up to? He's recruited Takeshita in the past.
Yeah.
You even brought him out to help the Elite at one point. I've seen on social media people bringing up the fact that there was a segment where he was backstage shaking hands with Will Ospreay. You got to assume Will's going to be Kenny's opponent at Forbidden Door 2.
Is he building his own faction, perhaps?
I mean, Will already has his faction. He's got the United Empire.
It's like sort of the replacement for Bullet Club in terms of like what the biggest deal in New Japan is right now, in my opinion, anyways. United Empire.
Yeah. So I don't know what Don's goal is, and therein lies the intrigue. I guess if it's a situation where I could see the motivation for him turning on Kenny and aligning with Will Ospreay, because he's like, Kenny, you're the past.
Mm-hmm, yeah,
Will
sure.
Ospreay, future wrestling.
Mm-hmm,
he's
yeah.
my guy.
Yeah,
I could
sure.
see that. I don't necessarily see what Don Callis' motivation would be for aligning with the Blackpool Combat Club, other than they're the dominant force in AEW, and I want to be with them.
Yeah, and given that Brian was surprised about it, you have to wonder if this is, and the handshaking of Will Ospreay, I hadn't even noticed that, by the way. But you bringing that up, you also have to ask yourself, what event is it going to primarily play out at? Because there's a bunch of them coming up. You got Forbidden Door 2. That's what, in June? That's next month.
June, yeah.
And then, of course, a couple months after that, you've got All In and All Out.
Well, you got Double or Nothing at the end of this month.
Oh,
too.
God, you have Double or Nothing. Yeah, my goodness. And so is this a situation where this is going to play out at, because, we're under the assumption that Double or Nothing is going to be a big multi-man Elite versus Blackpool Combat Club thing, I would think.
Anarchy in the Arena, Blood and Guts, who knows?
Right, exactly. And
Probably
then after
Anarchy in the Arena, yeah.
And then after that, you've got Collision coming up, which seemingly what we saw last night on Dynamite also is going to be a bit of a brand split. Seems like Miro is probably going to be on Collision. Thunder Rosa is going to be on Collision. Of course, Punk and FTR are going to be there. So we'll see how all that, plays out. But that's also something to keep an eye on. It feels like, if you bring in Ospreay, clearly that's going to be a Forbidden Door thing. He's been talking about that recently. Yeah. His match with Orange Cassidy. He had an interview about that. So yeah, what that exactly means, I have no idea. If he's going to be sort of the AEW manager of maybe some sort of New Japan faction within AEW, I don't know. It could be all encompassing. It could include another dude from a United Empire. What's his face? The dude who
Kyle Fletcher, who attacked
Kyle
Orange
Fletcher.
Cassidy. Yeah.
It could encompass that as well. I don't know.
Yeah,
be interesting to find out.
It would be interesting to find out. I don't know. You mentioned Miro, Thunder Rosa making some surprise returns to AEW TV last night, wanting to get a word or two in with Tony Khan. And later on during the show, he had a bit of a promo saying, we got a lot of talent here. They all want to wrestle. And so it might be time to expand our content. So, of course, this kind of goes with the rumors and reports of the last month or two of AEW having a Saturday show, AEW Collision, starting up middle of June. It's going to mark the return of CM Punk. So according to Dave Meltzer, yesterday he reported that not only is AEW set to get 2 more hours of weekly TV with Collision, they're getting a new TV deal with Warner Brothers Discovery, with Collision and that new TV deal set to be announced at the Warner Brothers Discovery upfront. That's when networks show off their lineup for advertisers. Advertisers can lay down
advertising in our stuff,
the huge dollars for those ads. Next Wednesday, that's May 17th. There's been some rumors of the exact dollar amount going around the internet, but neither Meltzer or Fightful Select were able to confirm that particular dollar amount. Fightful Select does have some details on what we can expect from Collision's debut. Not only will Punk seemingly be returning on the first Collision, apparently Punk has been lobbying for a huge return feud, with Fightful Select saying yesterday, quote, there's been a Chris Jericho program discussed, but Punk had pushed for another return opponent out of the gate. And today, Fightful Select has word of that opponent maybe. Sources have indicated that Punk has become, quote, increasingly interested in feuding with Samoa Joe upon Phil's return to television.
That would be an amazing feud. It really would be. The promos alone, would be outstanding. The match itself, should Punk not injure himself, would be amazing. I think that'd be awesome. That'd be terrific. That'd be really good stuff.
For someone like myself, who is maybe not the most interested in seeing CM Punk return, given what happened That media scrum, that brawl out. Having him feud with Samoa Joe increases my interest level because I want to see Samoa Joe on AEW television, and it would probably lead to some good stuff.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like totally, look, if Punk has given us plenty of, plenty of really good feuds in his time with AEW, of course, going back to WWE. If they think this is going to work, and they can put on some entertaining shit, then I'm down. I thought the Punk MJF stuff was really good.
It was.
I thought that was fine. Tony Khan's a big boy, and if he's fine, basically being verbally cucked out in front of however many thousands of people in a press conference, or I think actually millions. Some of those videos, I think Denise's video had like in the millions of views.
Yeah, a lot of people have seen that. Yes,
plenty of people have seen that video, and if he's fine with that. And, whatever conversations were had that satisfies him to pick up the pieces, then what do I care? He didn't cuck me out in front of a bunch of people. Like he didn't make me look like an asshole. I do that myself. So I don't give a shit. If they do something that's entertaining, great. If it's cringy ass, like, here's my honest belief. Look, if it works out, if this weird brand split because people don't get along works out, great. I am a bit of a student of human nature, though, man, and I just don't see it happening. But if they get it to work, congratulations. That's great.
This would be like an act of like Nobel Prize level diplomacy if they could somehow make this all work out.
Right.
And not have people at their throat, at each other's throat at some point, Because, dude, it's going to be within 8 months that we'd get our first. Number one, CM Punk, he doesn't get himself into situations where long-term he's happy. Something always happens. And so within 6 to 8 months, assuming he stays healthy, somebody else, they're going to be doing the shit where they go on air and they shoot a little bit and they're cryptic and it's like, oh, here we go again. I know.
Somebody's not happy because this is a weird situation.
What else could happen is that they do that, but it's intentional. So you think, oh, someone's not happy. There's going to be a huge blow up at some point, but it's all just the work shoot thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they just lean into that stuff too much. It's like, gosh, come on. Can we not have the constant sense of tension over something exploding backstage? Because at a certain point, it does not make for entertaining television.
Yeah, I know. Exactly. Just come on, like write your shit, tell your shit, and then, etc.
Tell stories that don't all involve backstage drama.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So, and then somebody's going to go on a podcast, or they're going to start a podcast, or maybe they'll talk, they'll want to talk about Bret Hart matches, but they really won't. So I don't know, man. I am perfectly cool. I think just even for the potential of a train wreck situation, I'm down for this, for CM Punk to come back. Ideally, they'll tell some cool stories. Everybody will be happy being on different shows, and the product will get hot again. And then they'll start pushing people like Swerve Strickland and Keith Lee and the Acclaimed again. Maybe that'll happen.
I hope so.
But or Jade Cargill up there. Maybe they'll give her some real opponents. I don't know.
Give her some stories. I know.
Yeah. So I'm hoping for the best. I'll be kind of shocked if the best happens. But CM Punk and Samoa Joe, at least in the short term, that's some good stuff right there. Let me get some promos. Let me get some good matches. Feet on the ground, safe and sound. No more suicide dives. No more diving into the crowd. Just keep it right there in the ring, and
Phil's
hopefully
got to adopt a ground-based style. He's got to watch a lot of Zack Sabre Jr. matches.
Right. I feel like the dude is a really great storyteller in the ring, and he can maybe get some more miles out of that body of his if he.
He should definitely not be trying any more buckshot lariats. CM.
In his defense, that does seem like an exceedingly hard move to pull off.
Like a very difficult move, yes.
Yeah, like when Logan Paul does it smooth as can be. Somebody else recently did, I thought somebody else did that relatively smooth, but maybe I'm wrong about that.
You just think about Hangman Adam Page? He does that all the time.
He does. He does it quite a bit. Maybe that's him.
Maybe
that's him I'm thinking about. Yeah.
One more thing to mention here on Dynamite before we get to the full show breakdown. So they've been teasing FTR defend the tag titles against Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett. We knew it was going to happen. It was made official last night. Also made official that Mark Briscoe is going to be the special guest referee for that particular bout at Double or Nothing.
Yeah, but then dipshit like took him out. Dax took him out. Oh no. Oh, I love it. The thing that I love is that in the promo that led up to it, Dax called Jeff Jarrett a carny asshole. And I was like, oh, really, Dax? And then that happens, and they had bleeped that. But then you see Jeff Jarrett down there, and he says, now who's the carny asshole, Dax?
That's great.
And everybody could hear it. Like it totally came through the TV. I love Jeff Jarrett. I don't think they have a chance in hell at winning those titles. But God damn it, I want to see that, man.
Oh, that'd be spectacular.
I want somebody reach out to Will Washington, man. Somebody get in his DMs and be like, hey, come on, man. Jeff Jarrett, Jay Lethal, let's have this happen. Let's do it.
That'd be something else. That'd be something else.
Oh, I'd pop so huge.
Massive.
Huge.
Massive.
Huge.
Massive. Never thought that one of the stories of 2023 is I'd become a Jeff Jarrett fan.
Oh man, I got it. That shirt they have with all their faces on it. I kind of want to get one of those.
I know,
man.
me too. I
kind of want to get one of those. Anyways, before we keep going, you want to pay some bills, Larson?
Sure, let's do it.
All right.
Let's take a quick break here. Get a word from our sponsor, HelloFresh. Hey, Steve. You know that flowers aren't the only thing blooming this spring because flavor is in full bloom at HelloFresh.
That's right, man. HelloFresh makes mealtime easy with recipe options that will make everyone at your table happy. From veggie to pescatarian to fit and wholesome, HelloFresh has meal options that suit your lifestyle.
And hey, I'm going to be honest. I'm more or less complete amateur in the kitchen. You know, it's not really uncommon for me to add too much or too little of an ingredient or forget to put something in entirely, but HelloFresh comes with foolproof recipes that arrive with pre-portioned ingredients that are quick and easy to prepare in just a few steps. So it's easy for someone like me, an amateur, to cook like a pro and get a delicious meal on the table for my hungry family and to do it fast. And we're all huge fans of that beef bulgogi stir fry. It's delicious. It's always a hit here in the Larson household. And plus, I don't have to spend a bunch of time making endless trips to the grocery store getting ingredients since everything is delivered directly to my front door out there.
That's right, and HelloFresh does more than just dinner. Along with 40 weekly recipe options, you can also choose from more than 100 items to add to your order, including snacks, easy lunches, and desserts. And it all shows up at your door in one box on a delivery date that you select.
Right now, friendos can try America's #1 meal kit by going to HelloFresh.com/GIR16 and use code GIR16 for 16 free meals plus free shipping. Again, that's HelloFresh.com/GIR16 and use code GIR16 for 16 free meals plus free shipping.
So let's go ahead and talk about AEW. The actual recap here. It started off with a phenomenal match. Claudio versus Rey Fenix. As you would imagine, between these two, they complement each other's styles quite well. And this was really awesome stuff here.
It reminded me, I haven't seen the whole match, but I know Claudio wrestled Pac in PWG, I believe.
Oh, sure, yeah.
And I've seen clips of that match, years ago. And some of the spots in here reminded me of that bout in particular. Spectacular stuff. Really awesome stuff.
Yeah.
Claudio just really wanted to keep on press slamming Rey Fenix into the guardrail, over the guardrail, into the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
He must have done that at least 2 or 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, though, Fenix sends Claudio out of the ring, hits a moonsault to the floor, puts Claudio back in the ring, looking for a springboard. Claudio hits him with an uppercut, looking for a Ricola bomb. Instead, Fenix reverses to Code Red, gets a 2. And then Claudio, I don't know what the name of this move is. It's kind of like a reverse angle slam.
Mm-hmm.
Because the opponent's facing the other way, gets a 2 with that, and starts hammering Fenix with a bunch of elbows, follows the Ricola bomb to get the win. Spectacular bout, though.
Claudio's one of those guys, and, there's a couple of them, and Miro is probably the top of this list, and Brody Lee's near the top of the list as well. WWE guys who I just really prefer much more in AEW / Ring of Honor, obviously. Because it's funny because it's not like he drops like promos all the time. He might do that on Ring of Honor, but it's not like any of that. It's just being in the Blackpool Combat Club. he feels like he's doing something, even if he's out there just seconding Mox. He feels like he's part of the world. And in WWE, Cesaro just never felt, except when he was with the Bar, as a solo guy, he just never felt like he was really part of it. He always felt like he was searching for something. And Claudio is a guy who obviously knows who he is and what he is.
Yeah. He just feels like he has much more presence.
Yeah, he does.
His character has more presence. You have to say a whole lot.
Yeah.
You just know his presence. You know when he's there, even if he's not in the match, when he's seconding Mox or Danielson or tagging with Wheeler or whatever.
Yeah.
Like his presence just feels weightier in AEW than it did in WWE.
Yeah, it does. After that, we see a pair of feet walking down the hallway. Camera pans up. Hey, it's Miro, buddy. The Redeemer is back. Redeem D's nuts. Renee asks him, hey, what are you doing here? I thought you had creative issues with Tony Khan. And he doesn't say anything. He just walks right past her, and then he goes into a broom closet that has the name Tony Khan on it. No, it looked like an actual room. But
maybe it was his actual. I mean, one thing I learned watching All Access this week is that not only did Adam Cole hide in Tony Khan's closet when he came back, office when he came back.
That'd be awesome.
Well, hold on. At the Kia Forum, he's like, he talks about on this show, like he almost starts to laugh. He says, wait in his office. I had to wait in his bathroom because where do you go when you get some of your best ideas? Because he's thinking about his promo in the bathroom, but he's like, you can tell they don't show him. You just hear his voiceover. Yeah. He's trying to stifle a little bit of laughter when he says it.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I didn't want. You'll have to clue me in on All Access.
It was Adam Cole returning to the ring, and then that street fight that Ruby and Willow had against Ty and Anna Jay when took that nasty powerbomb.
Yeah, that was rough.
That was rough.
Yeah, no, instead of All Access, I was just feeling down over the whole Enforcer thing. I told you this off camera. I'll tell the friend I watched Moonfall. It was just a massive piece of shit of a movie. It was like there were some green screen shots, bro. I swear these were so poorly done. Oh man, what a pile of crap that was.
How is it that as we get on through the years, there's more and more awful green screen?
Yeah, I know.
Shouldn't that technology be getting better?
You would think so. You would think they'd be like, I mean, why is it not everybody? Like everybody at this point should have the volume, the big LED screen,
the giant LED screen, yeah.
And even that looks kind of crummy on Star Wars sometimes. Everything has to be like so wide. Like they can never, like people can't be going, like good luck filming like a maze scene using the volume. Anyway.
Yeah, you can't really do that.
Anyways, after that.
Especially in like anything close to a long take.
Mm-hmm, right, yeah, exactly. We had an MJF promo where he references one CM Punk. He says, he sort of steals Cody's line. He says, so what's the deal? What do you want me to talk about? The Pillars? Okay, let's talk about the Pillars. When this company first started up, we swept the nation with our talent. We came from absolutely out of nowhere. We were like the Beatles. Okay, this is a bit much. We were like the Beatles. Sammy was like Ringo, wild talent, incredibly stupid. Jungle Boy was cool, calm, and collected young stud. He was George. Then good way to reach out to the young demos, referring to them as the Beatles.
I know.
He says, Darby, the dark, brooding artist, just like John. Then there's me. I'm Paul. Ooh, that's nothing to brag about. He says, I'm the best. I'm the one who's going to have the most longevity since this. Well, that is actually true. Paul did have the most longevity.
That is true. But also, Paul as in Paul Levesque.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
There's that reference. He's
there you go.
Reading the same promo references a Reign of Terror. So
yeah.
I'm sure that's part of it too.
He says, since this company started, the gap between me and the three of them has only gotten bigger. I'm like a crater now. It's like a crater now. I'm begging these boys to step up to the plate, accomplish some of the things I've accomplished. I've beaten some of the best.
That's
you guys
CM Punk and then it was the best
right
dog collar match.
Yeah,
but he mentioned Cody in this as well. So
he says I was in the best dog collar and best Iron Man match in history of pro wrestling, and at Double or Nothing, I'll be in the best 4-way. Every great moment in this sport has one thing in common, and that's the AEW World Heavyweight Championship champion MJF, and my reign of terror has just begun.
Then we had a Mox Omega video package highlighting their entire story up to this moment. I'm going all the way back to basically the beginning of AEW.
Mm-hmm.
And then FTR comes to the ring, drop a promo. Dax says, I'm a little worked up. Before we get started, we owe an apology to someone, so we want Mark Briscoe to come out to the ring, please. Instead of Mark Briscoe, we get Double J, we get Sanjay Dutt, we get Jay Lethal, we get Satnam Singh. And so Dutt grabs the mic and says, FTR, I have one thing to say to you. You had one job tonight. And that was to accept the challenge we issued last week. So I'm asking you, FTR, do you accept our challenge? And Dax says, says to the crowd, do you want us to accept their challenge? The crowd's booing, saying no. Dax goes, yeah, that's what I thought, but I've got an idea. We will accept your challenge if you guys admit to using Mark Briscoe to get to us. And Dutch says, you think we're using Mark? He's our friend. And then Reach for the Sky hits. Mark Briscoe comes to the ring.
Can I do Mark Briscoe's voice, please?
Sure.
Simmer down, simmer down. Y'all need to relax. It's become abundantly apparent to me that you guys have a hard time controlling your emotions when you're in the same vicinity. So I talked to Tony Khan. I got some news. In Las Vegas, tag team title match, FTR versus Lethal and Jarrett. And I'm going to be the special guest ref. I'm going to keep the peace somehow. And then he's got like a drink and a bunch of cups.
I think a bottle of tequila, I think it is.
Oh, is that what it was?
I think
so. He says, take one, pass him around. He says, we shall keep some peace right now, boys. We need to toast this to make it official. And everybody gets a shot of tequila, but Dutt sprays it in Dax's face. A brawl's about to break out. Mark tries to break it up. Jarrett pushes Mark into Dax, who hits him with a pile driver because he's blinded by the booze. Yeah. And Dax, who had called Jeff Jarrett a carny asshole earlier, Jeff Jarrett's on the outside. Who's the carny asshole now, Dax?
Oh, so good. So good.
It is so good. I love that shit.
Then we got a Chris Jericho interview, and Renee asked him how he's feeling after Adam Cole's attack, about Adam Cole getting the best of him, and he responds, the best of me? Why do you say that with such glee, Renee? Why is everyone so happy that Adam Cole got the best of Chris Jericho after an unprovoked attack while I was doing commentary? I wasn't prepared for a fight. Cole, you create an unsafe work environment. You are what I said you were, a coward. So I went and got legal counsel, and now I got a court order. It says if I'm in the building, you're banned. You want to mess around with Chris Jericho? Before he can finish that thought, Roderick Strong steps in and goes, wow, Chris, you really are delusional. Adam Cole is one of my best friends on the planet. One thing he's not is a coward. As disappointing as it is that he's banned from the building, guess who's not banned? Me. So how about you face me, but not in a wrestling match, but in a falls count, or in a fight. Falls count anywhere. Or are you too much of a coward? And Jericho says, listen, Roderick, I understand you standing up for your friend. That's loyal. It's a good quality to have. But if you want to make a name for yourself in AEW against Chris Jericho, you're making a mistake. I'll knock your teeth down your throat. You want Falls Count anywhere next week on Dynamite? You got it. But remember this. I got a whole army behind me. Be careful what you wish for. And Roderick says, well, I got legal counsel too. Jericho Appreciation Society banned from the building.
I wish that Roderick Strong had called him a dork, because he says the word dork like better than anybody in wrestling.
I think so, yes.
So after that, Renee is still hovering outside of Tony Khan's office. Thunder Rosa steps in and says, tonight seems like a good night to talk to Tony Khan. And she walks into Tony Khan's office. So it's like, I guess she's like, whoa, wait a second. If you have problems with somebody backstage, you can go to a different brand where they're not going to be there. That sounds cool. I want in on this. Oh, my neck feels great now. Yeah, so who knows?
Yeah, who knows? I mean, if everybody who walked into Tony Khan's office today, are they all going to
it kind of feels, I think so.
Collision?
I kind of feel like that's the case, yeah.
Could be. Then we had a Sammy Guevara video package. They had video packages of the promo bits from the principals of the package and other people throughout the show. The MJF was the first one. Sammy here just talking about his own journey, getting to the point of being in the main event. Then we had Tony Khan having kind of an announcement about an announcement. He says, I think tonight Detroit, we have one of the strongest Dynamite cards we've ever had. This is some of the best matches and some of the best wrestlers in AEW at tonight's show. In addition to the great wrestlers you'll see tonight, there are stars in the back lining up, looking for a chance to wrestle in AEW. I think it's clearer than ever that AEW can produce even more great content every week. I'd like you to stay tuned to TNT next Wednesday, the 17th, for a huge announcement, and join us on Dynamite next week, where we'll follow up with the most important announcements in AEW ever. The arrival of Nick Collison, with it AEW Collison.
Can I ask you, was this, again, I didn't see like the bit, well, no, actually I did. I think I have it here because Dope was talking about it. The ad for this week's Dynamite, it didn't include like an announcement from Tony Khan, did it?
I didn't notice, but usually when they run through the matches, I kind of don't pay attention sometimes.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if it did or not. I was going to say that'd be bunk if they advertised it. Oh, here we go. I don't think so. Let me double check here. No, they didn't. Okay, good.
Okay.
I was going to say, Like that, they just announced it like they announced
an announcement, but then they promote the announcement that he just announced.
Right, exactly. So the big announcement should be advertised for next week because he just said it's going to happen.
Yeah, maybe AEW Collision, yes.
So I know that the number had been thrown out there in social media, but it was only speculation. Nobody knows the number. Over under $1 billion, Larson.
So it'll be the speculated amount was it $1 billion per year. So I just want to make sure the
it was $1 billion over 5 years.
So $200 million a year.
What's WWE's deal?
I think right now the one that's expiring gets $250 per year.
$250 million a year.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Roughly. I think those were 4-year deals, if memory serves. So what you're saying, what it looks like, if the speculation, there's any, we don't know, it's speculation, this could be way off the mark, but if that's the number we want to throw out there, $1 billion.
Yeah.
Over 5 years. So that's $200 million per year for Dynamite, Rampage, Collision, pay-per-views. Whether they stay on Bleacher Report, they wrap that up into Max, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, if TNT and TBS feels like what they're getting for the ad spots on those shows justifies that dollar amount.
You think they would wrap up pay-per-view? Is that like the speculation they'd wrap up pay-per-view?
I've seen some people talk about whether, with Max doing the relaunch in May, or HBO Max being converted to Max and wrapping Discovery Plus into that, that they might adopt a model.
Because for WWE, that's per show. That's Raw, and then SmackDown has a similar deal. So they have 2 of those deals.
Around 250, Yeah.
I think they're gonna want. I think Tony Khan is trying to get that word billion. I think he wants that word billion.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it'd be huge. The company's
it'd be huge.
In business for 4.5 years, and they've already scored $1 billion.
Yeah, absolutely.
Speculated amount. It's not confirmed by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah,
but you're 4.5 years into the
because $800 million sounds boring.
I know. We lost millions of dollars. Yawn.
Right. Boring.
I know. WWE has $2 billion deals that are about to expire, and they're probably going to go up by
they're probably going to get double
a significant factor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Say, oh yeah, he scored a 5-year, $500 million deal. Whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
I mean, it's a huge feather in the cap to say, yeah, we got $1 billion TV deal. Of course.
Do you think? I mean, do you think like how much would you bet? More than
that
20?
Get?
More than $20 that they're going to say billion?
See, the only thing that gives me pause about that large of a number. Is that we just hear for the longest time that Warner Brothers Discovery has no money.
No, I know. Yeah. But I've also heard that like over the past, like since Homeboy took over, like he's done a good job cost cutting.
Well, apparently like the streaming, I don't know if it's just HBO Max or Discovery Plus or one or the other, both like actually turned a profit, which in the streaming world is massive.
No
streaming service turns a profit.
Yeah. Well, he canceled that Batgirl movie. So that probably freed up.
Well, they took Westworld off HBO Max too.
I know. I never did get past season. I don't even know if I said. I think everybody shat on season 2 of Westworld, and so but then they said like 3 is okay, but I never watched.
Yeah, I didn't even finish season 1.
Season 1 I thought was really good. Oh, that was good.
Yeah.
Anyways,
also really good. Orange Cassidy versus Daniel Garcia. Really good bout. They're really telling the story on commentary that Orange Cassidy is like super beat up. Obviously, his hand is all taped up, but they've mentioned during his other title defenses that he's had his lower back worked over, his leg, and that's what Garcia was attacking. It was like he watched all of Orange Cassidy's matches, title defenses before this, and it's like, all right, I can target the hand, the back, the knee. And I thought Garcia actually did a really fantastic job of from a tactical standpoint, focusing his attack on all those areas.
Yeah, right.
And while making it crystal clear, okay, this is intentionally the story they're telling. Even if you mute commentary and just have watched Cassidy's title defenses, you get what Garcia is trying to do here.
Yeah.
And then he starts dancing too, man. But again, as Excalibur mentioned, Garcia will do great until he starts sports entertaining.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Starts talking crap, starts dancing. Orange Cassidy would get the upper hand every time.
Mm-hmm. And it didn't take a orange punch.
Nope.
It took he rolled it. They did like a roll up sequence, and Orange Cassidy got the best of it and got the win here.
That sequence where
really
Garcia went from Dragon Tamer to a triangle to the crossface. Gosh, that was good.
It was really smooth. Yeah,
that was good.
He's a phenomenal wrestler. He's really good.
He really is.
So yeah, another win for Orange Cassidy. After that, we had a video package of Hikaru Shida and the Outcasts. I'm sorry, Hikaru Shida, Outcasts, and Tony Storm challenged Britt, Jamie, and Shida to a trios match, and they accepted.
Yeah, Britt and Jamie were in this too as one of those montage bits where they just edit a bunch of promo stuff with B-roll.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Where people that are feuding have a conversation over promos.
Yeah, right. They respond to promos.
Yeah.
After that, we had a Christian Cage interview where he ran down Detroit as being the worst city in the country.
This is really long.
It was really long. Like, I get it. They were booing him. There was good heat here, but it was really long. He didn't really say a whole lot. You know, he's trying to poke the bear, I guess, but it's just sort of sometimes come off as a bit redundant, I guess.
Long-winded. So it's
you don't have to recap the entire thing.
I'm not going to recap the entire thing. So he prefaces by talking trash about Detroit. He's asked, how'd you get to the front of the line to be the next contender for the TNT title? He said, because I'm Christian Cage. When you have my list of accomplishments, you can do that. He asks, why does so many wrestlers in AEW have daddy issues? He says he's not going to berate Wardlow's father. But then he says you now have a father figure in Arn Anderson, and Arn ditched his own kid Brock in AEW once he saw Wardlow there with that TNT title.
Yeah, can you blame the guy?
And then he talks a bunch of crap about Arn, makes the case that he's better, Christian is better, and so he's gonna beat Wardlow for the TNT title, and that was pretty much it.
Yeah. And he said, Detroit, kiss my ass.
Not a fan of Detroit.
Not a fan of Detroit. You know what, man? Detroit is where RoboCop resided. So, and the Motor City Machine Guns as well. Yeah, that's where they're from.
To be fair, in RoboCop, Detroit had fallen on tough times.
It was a shithole. But I feel like RoboCop walking around shooting people.
Well, I feel like that was largely Omnicorp to blame for that.
Yeah, exactly. So, corporate greed and corruption.
Malfeasance.
Yeah, that's a good word right there. Malfeasance. After that, we had. Oh, what'd you think of this Darby Allen video package? Because I really liked it.
Yeah, it was good.
Thought it was lovely. Lovely is the word I'm going to put, because it wasn't like. Yeah, he had a pug. He had a dad.
A skate ramp or skate park at his house.
Yeah, like this wasn't like gloomy, angsty Darby Allen. It was like, hey, this is my life. This is why I do all the crazy things that I do to test my limits and to get over fears. But it was presented in such like a, I don't know, it felt like a genuine way. Yeah. And I'll be honest, look, I'm a huge Darby Allen fan. The presentation, the short films, his entrance music, all that shit, I think is awesome. And so I usually like his little short films, like little art school films. But I thought this was a nice change of pace, and it really humanized the guy made him come off as a bit more than just angsty teenager. I know he's not a teenager, but sometimes that's how he comes off. He looks very young. So no, I really like this. I thought it was cool.
No, I thought it was good too. And humanizing him is a good way of putting it, because it seems like he's kind of walking back from the angsty teenager vibe and just kind of presenting a more well-rounded presentation of himself.
The only thing I would have done different was more pug, but number two, and maybe more dad. But number two, lose the face paint for these sequences. Because like there's a guy underneath the paint, and I get that you have paint, but it's like you go home and you put that on.
Maybe that's how he walks around his house.
Maybe he does. Look, maybe he does.
I don't know.
Just saying.
It's a question worth asking, Steve. Next we had Julia Hart, who might have the best theme music in all of wrestling right now. It's so good.
Oh, I know. Isn't it so good?
It's so good.
It is really cool. And she lip syncs it on her way out, and after her victory, she was doing it also when it piped back on. I thought that was cool.
And when someone lip syncs their own theme, it could come off as kind of cheesy. It's not.
No, it's good.
It's not when she does it. It's
it
great.
Works. Yeah, it does. It really works.
Taking on Anna Jay in a street fight. This match was it street fight or just no holds barred? No holds barred.
I think it was no holds barred. Yeah.
Really fun bout. Julia Hart gets the win. Julia Hart eats that gory bomb on that pile of chairs on the outside. That looked like it sucked.
Yeah, it did. It did.
So eventually Julia hits a superplex on another pile of chairs in the ring on Anna Jay, locks on Heartless on the pile of chairs, and Anna has to tap. It's a fun bout.
Yeah. Yep.
Then we got a best friends interview. Renee asks how they're feeling ahead of, because Chuck, Trent, and Bandito are facing the House of Black in the open house rules match. And Orange says, he's looking at his backpack. I think there's enough room in this backpack for 3 more belts. And Trent says, Detroit, tonight I'm feeling it. Tonight's the night. The best amigos win the big one. And Renee asks if they've chosen their stipulation for the final rule of the match. And Orange says, oh, yeah, we got a good one. Tell him, Chuck. And Chuck is just like completely and totally confused.
I didn't know we were supposed to do
I didn't know, but there was that spooky girl out there earlier. I don't want her running around ringside. So Trent says, all witches are banned from ringside. That's the stipulation.
Yeah, and it's pretty underwhelming there.
But it was the presentation of it was funny.
No, it was no, the stipulation was underwhelming because the idea is the audience was confused when this was announced, the house rules, because it's like, no disqualification, but our opponent gets to choose something, and it was like, wait, what? But is it no DQ or not? Did the opponent get to choose that it's no DQ, or what's the situation here? And so that, like, because I saw like Buddy Murphy gave an interview where he had to sort of explain it a little bit more, clarify.
He did on Twitter too.
Okay, he did. And so the idea that the best amigos are sort of clueless also because they're the proxy for the audience. I thought that was pretty good. It was pretty
good. And I liked that when they came to the match from commentary, they were talking about spooky witches, and Taz had a great line. No offense to spooky witches.
No offense to spooky witches.
That
is good stuff.
Then we had that match, and it was really, really good.
What did you think of the presentation with the lights coming down?
It's unique. It's different.
I thought it was cool.
It's not over the top.
No, I thought it was neat. Yeah.
Sets the stage and the mood.
Malachi's in ridiculous shape these days. Have you noticed that? He's in ridiculous shape.
He is.
Like, there is not an ounce of it. Like, he's freaking abs are just,
I know. Like his shoulders
chiseled.
And his pecs are.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Not like astronomically huge, but they're pretty massive. Yeah.
He looks great. He looks absolutely great.
He does. He's trying to catch up to Buddy in terms of putting on bulk.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, no.
That dude's got bulk on bulk.
You got that right. So, not surprisingly, House of Black get the win here. They hit Chuck with Dante's Inferno to get the win. It was a really fun bout. A couple times during the match, they show Orange backstage watching on the TV after House of Black get the win. We see that Orange is laid out by Kyle Fletcher, one half of Aussie Open. So he picks up the international title, holds it up. He's already got the IWGP and the Strong Tag titles in his hands. So I think this next week that he's facing Orange for that international title.
He's going to be yet another tag guy who can't win a singles match.
You got that right.
Yeah. After that, we had a Jungle Boy video package. They tried to do the same thing with Jungle Boy as they did with Darby Allen, but as with usual Jungle Boy, I just sort of fell asleep during this video package.
Well, here's the thing, is that Darby, with his presentation and his angsty teenager kind of gimmick, there is a certain level of kind of larger-than-life aspect of it, because he does all this death-defying stuff, and you think, well, this person's superhuman or something. Not Twitter person.
No, not the juggalos and juggalettes. Right.
No, not that superhuman, but like he could jump off a ladder onto the floor and still like function.
Yeah, or a microwave like superhuman.
I didn't mean to directly reference superhuman. I see the analogy. But like with Jungle Boy, like his presentation is just dude, and you find out behind the scenes he's also just dude.
He's just guy.
It's just not. It's just he talks about his parents setting him up with starting wrestling training. I think he said when he's 9 with some guy with the ring in the backyard, just like he had a ring in his backyard now.
Yeah, that doesn't sound good.
Um, so,
Some dude.
so yeah, I mean, like Jungle Boy is a dude inside and outside of the ring.
Yeah, he's just the same guy. He's just the same guy who I have. Well, there's all sorts of testimonial because I guess, I don't know, one of those podcasters said something like, oh, he was like being crappy to people at a convention.
Oh, it wasn't just
like,
one of those podcasters. I think it was Jim Cornette that was talking crap about that.
I didn't want to say his name.
Oh, sorry. Strike that from the record.
Yeah, but then like a ton of people were like, no, he's great. He was like super nice. Like I saw him even without like just on this randomly on the street. He's a really cool guy.
Yeah.
So hey, if Jungle Boy's a cool guy, hats off to him because I like when people are just
and
really
apparently
nice.
like I read something in the context of all that like he battles with anxiety too.
Yeah,
So I mean, especially if it's social anxiety or the situation where you're doing meet and greet autograph signings.
Yeah.
You know, it's the chance that you could be pretty anxious there. So I'd understand if he's quiet.
Yeah,
I mean,
sure.
There's no accounts of him being rude to anybody.
Right. Like what? Dude can't just be quiet. He can't just keep to himself. And then if somebody comes up and engages him, then he turns it on. What's wrong with that? It seems like a nice guy.
Nothing wrong with that.
Not the most compelling, person on TV that I've ever seen in my life, but that's just a separate thing,
Yeah.
Good to know when people are nice. And he seems like a nice fella.
He does. That podcaster you mentioned, trying to stir shit up. Mm-mm.
Oh, man, dude's always stirring the shit.
It's always stirring shit up.
Always stirring shit, man. Anyways.
I didn't know you didn't want to mention.
No, I know exactly. I know exactly who it was. After that, we had a Ricky Starks promo. So he's going to fight Jay White next week on Dynamite.
Yeah.
Is this going to be like a wonk-ass finish? What's going on with it? It's got to be a wonk-ass finish.
I'd assume so, yes.
Like maybe maybe Phantasmo or something like that is going to show up and
that'd
be
be
like
cool if LP showed up.
More Bullet Club Gold. They wonk the finish, DQ, then they take it to Double or Nothing.
They really need to Bullet Club Gold really needs to deliver their kind of mission statement so we know what the deal is.
23.99% APR. That's what it is. Or I also thought, like, over the weekend when I was thinking about Bullet Club Gold, I was like, it also kind of sounds like a cool strip club.
Yeah, it does.
Right?
It does.
Oh, come to Bullet Club Gold. See the cheeks.
Wow.
You guys like cheeks? You guys want to get rock hard because there's some cheeks?
Oh, yeah.
You can get rock hards there because they got the cheeks. So come to Bullet Club Gold. You want cheeks?
Yeah, this is Ricky Starks challenge.
Jay White looks like a strip club manager too. Like the way he presents something, because he's got like the dress shirts, kind of the short sleeve dress shirts.
Yeah.
The tank top
pants.
Underneath it, the tight pants,
the sunglasses.
Yeah. Come to Bullet Club Gold. Yes, we've got cheeks here.
Yes. So it's pretty much Ricky Starks challenging Jay White. Jay White, you don't want to mess with us. You want to happen at the perfect place, the perfect time. And then Ricky's like, yeah, when the setting is perfect, as I want it to be. I'm going to show you what a legend in the waiting really looks like. Or legend in the making really looks like. Sorry.
Yeah. After
then
that, we had
a
main event.
Holy shit, was this spectacular.
Gee whiz. Yeah, this was crazy.
This was crazy. Like, even before the match started, it was crazy.
Yeah. It started before the match, like they were going at it.
Young Bucks got involved. Eventually, super kicks were doled out. Uppercuts were given. People were thrown off the stage. Eventually, that all just kind of happens. Goes backstage. But once they got in the ring, Kenny pulls out this chair wrapped in barbed wire. And that's kind of the centerpiece for the first half of the bout, at least. Mm-hmm. Because we saw a Kotaro Crusher on there. People got blasted with it. Kenny threw that chair in Mox's face. Mox hits a superplex onto that chair that just tore the shit out of Kenny's back.
Oh, man. Yeah, that was gnarly.
But like Mox, as soon as Kenny threw the chair in Mox's face, Mox started bleeding.
The bit was it Kenny? What did he do with the chair on the back to Mox? Like
he did a double stomp on it.
Yeah, no, he didn't. He did a double stomp, but like he skated off, like he sort of like scraped it off Mox.
Yeah.
Oh, and that like immediately like Mox's back was messed up. That was good stuff.
Yeah, it was.
And the broken glass. Oh my god.
Oh my god. So during the picture-in-picture, Mox starts taking the two top ropes off.
Mm-hmm.
So he undoes the turnbuckles in one corner, and just kind of throws them aside. He's fish hooking Kenny with the turnbuckle. Chokes him with the ropes for a bit, and that's when he gets the bag of glass, dumps it in the ring, puts on a sleeper, or a chokehold, and then Kenny like dumps him back into the glass to break that up. We get a bunch of V triggers. Let's see here, and then they're back to their feet. They're trading slaps. Kenny's looking for a Snapdragon. Mox escapes that. Kenny hits a pair of V triggers, then Snapdragon on the glass. Mox rolls to the apron, then Kenny V triggers him through the cage.
That was sick, but yeah, it was terrifying. And even Danielson, when they were checking on Kenny, had like a legit look of like, oh crap, that looked bad.
So I think Kenny was trying to catch himself from tumbling to the floor because he was going like head first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I mean, it happened so fast. It looks like he was going to fall out of the ring, and then he just stops himself, and he's kind of
like. Do you think the idea was like, I'm going to V trigger him? We're both going to go out of the ring. Do you think that's what it was going to be? Yeah, maybe, I think that might have been
the way that Kenny was falling. It looked like he could have, it was seemingly head first. Maybe he kind of stopped himself, but then his leg got pinned between the ring and the cage, and he sold that down on the floor.
Yeah, right.
So trainers come and catch and check on him. So maybe that was intentional. I don't know. So Mox puts him back in the ring, picks up a screwdriver from ringside, and he's about to take the screwdriver to Kenny. Don Callis gets in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
He takes the screwdriver from Mox. Kenny hits Mox with a pair of V triggers, a one-winged angel, covers, and on the 2 count, Callis comes from behind Kenny, just stabs him in the head with a screwdriver to break up the pin.
Yeah.
And Mox just slowly crawls over, puts his arm over Kenny, covers him to get the win. And then Kenny gets to his knees, and he has blood dripping down his forehead. And Callis is standing over him. He's got that screwdriver. He's about to stab him again. Drops it. Whispers something to Kenny. I don't know what.
Yeah.
And then kisses him on the head and leaves.
Yeah.
And then there was a thing they put up, I don't know if it's on Twitter or YouTube or what, but where Kenny's like, if I can't trust my family, if I can't trust the Young Bucks, who can I trust?
Yeah. Hangman Page.
Well, I mean, they got patched things up. I was thinking Kota Ibushi.
Oh, yeah, Kota Ibushi. You can trust him more probably than Hangman Page because they got problems. They got to patch it up. But no, here's the thing. All Hangman Page has to do is go to Collision. Oh, shit, wait.
Can't
go there.
No, he's on Dynamite. Kenny's on Dynamite.
Time for a third show.
Yeah. On AEW More Elite.
Yeah. AEW More
or the show's
Elite.
just called All Elite because there's only the Young Bucks, Kenny, Cutler, Nakazawa, and Hangman.
It's that time it was like, what was it, Punk, Triple H, and like The Miz or somebody. No, it wasn't The Miz. Somebody else on Raw because everybody else walked out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was funny. Anyways. So there are a couple of question threads. We did put question threads up. So We're going to answer some of your questions. Of course, we do the question threads for YouTube channel members. All you got to do is click join and Friendo's on the Patreon at patreon.com/Stephen Larson. That's also how you enter the big blue May predictions challenge because of course the Enforcer is now the forever Big Red Digital Champion. Forever. What I do YouTube, don't you?
Yeah, I'm on Patreon. Blake Whitehouse here says, "Why does the AEW World Title feud feel like a 2010 feud for the U.S. title?"
Why does the
AEW World Title feel like a 2010 feud for the U.S. title?
More like 2016. That's when they were doing the Fatal 4-Way with like Miz, Bob Roode, Jinder, and like somebody I'll forget, like Rusev or some shit like that. But no, I'm cool with it. You know what, man? We said put more of your young talent in the main event. And so what they do, they're putting their young talent on the main event.
I don't think it's the issue, if there is an issue with putting young talent in the main event. I think it's the presentation and the way they approach the story of the 4 pillars, where you put them all in the ring for 20-minute talking segments when talking for a long time isn't the strength of some of the 4 pillars.
You know what, though? I will appreciate that this week they moved on from the goofy Sammy Guevara stuff.
Yes.
It's like it didn't happen.
I know.
So like whatever.
I know.
They're getting there. Absolute 76 says, so yeah, we have got a lot of very heartfelt RIP Enforcer questions here.
Yes.
So that came from Absolute 76. Do Style 79 says, what's your favorite OMG moment in wrestling with the Enforcer? I mean, the 2 biggest ones obviously are Heavy Metal and the WrestleMania win that he just had.
Yeah, I was going to mention that too. Yeah, that was huge.
But dude, it was like every time there was some big surprise, like Enforcer's reaction was always just the best, man.
I know.
It was always the best.
I know. The first time I got to watch a Rob Shit match with him.
Oh, he loved Rob Shit.
Yeah, how do you not love Rob Shit?
Basie Boy 26 also was said RIP Enforcer, as did John Hosey. Thank you guys. We appreciate it. Here we go. Roy Costin says, who do you guys feel are the front runners for the commentary team for Collison, and who would you guys want as the commentary team? He also expresses his gratitude towards the Enforcer.
Nigel McGuinness
and Taz would be terrific.
That'd be something else.
That'd be amazing. That'd be so good.
That would be something else. Donald Seaman here says, in honor of the Enforcer, I propose that Heavy Metal wins the TNT Championship. Would this help rebuild the legacy of the TNT title?
Oh, in an instant legitimacy if it's on Heavy Metal. Legend. Yeah. The Blind Mask says, with Miro reappearing after months' absence, where do you see his return run going? To Collision.
To the Collision, probably to lose to CM Punk.
I hope that they put like either Wardlow or Orange Cassidy. Hopefully he beats Orange Cassidy for the international title. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah. It'd be Miro should just pick right back up where he left off.
Yeah, buddy.
There was so much that they didn't even do with that character. It was so interesting, so captivating, so unique.
Yeah.
Want to see what's left there. Alex Foster here says Jeff Jarrett's decided to recruit Going and Raw into his group.
Oh, man, that'd be amazing.
How would you prove your worth on the first day? I'd say, Jeff, give me that guitar. Tell me who to hit.
Boom. Oh, I thought you were going to like play some guitar. What you got to do is learn
with my baby tonight.
With my baby tonight.
I'll do that, and then I'll say, Jeff, who do you want me to break this guitar over?
There you go. Right now. Perfect. Well, I'm not musically gifted, so like maybe we can split those tasks. You do the song, and then you hand the guitar to me and say, "Hey, Steve will hit whoever you want to hit."
You don't want to do a duet with my baby tonight?
I don't really know the song.
I don't either, but we learn it.
Sure, but can I hit somebody with the guitar?
Sure, I'll find it. Well, I'll say, Jeff, do you have two guitars? So Steve and I will each prove our worth by busting somebody over the head with these guitars.
Sounds good.
Mayor Planet Houston here says, now that Miro's back, what would you like him to do? Oh, what realistically do you see him doing?
Losing to CM Punk.
But he'll probably lose to CM Punk. Nikal asks, what background music would you have had when Miro was walking into shot?
Jaws theme. Hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy. That's good.
Yeah.
The music. I know Ric Flair used it for his entry theme. It was used in 2001.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was also gonna say like the Imperial March.
Oh, that's good too.
Dun, dun, yeah. Dun, 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 dun. Rylab says, seeing as how AEW is a faction-heavy company, how or who would you book in a CM Punk faction for Collision, and who are their rivals? So obviously Punk and FTR, but can you throw, I don't know, two other names in there?
Trying to think of other people. I think Powerhouse Hobbs says that Punk was cool with him.
Oh, okay. All right.
Hobbs.
God, that'd be great to get him out of QTV. What the?
I know.
What were they thinking with that, man?
I don't know. Terrible idea. Terrible.
Awful. Just awful.
Terrible. We got some RIP enforcers here from Dwayne Huff, the King. Mr. Sinister says as well, asking about the future of Big Red. Enforcer will be forever champion.
Yep.
El Blanco Noche here says, hopefully in the spirit of an Enforcer question, on the Unrestricted podcast a while back, Ethan Page described his favorite Arby's sandwich as a roast beef sandwich with an order of mozzarella sticks in the middle.
What?
Steve's interest is piqued.
I didn't know Arby's had mozzarella. Mozzarella sticks are a dime a dozen. Like I've never had like, oh my god,
a transcendent one. Yeah,
right. Mozzarella sticks are exclusively like, oh man, I've been drinking mozzarella sticks. You know what I mean?
It's deep fried string cheese, apparently. Essentially, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Yeah, it's like whatever. But
yes. So the question is, make a signature sandwich or meal for a wrestler by combining items to make something unique.
Okay, all right, I can do that. Oh man, I would do this. Dude, Ethan Page just killed it with that one though.
Okay, this is what I'm doing. This is from two different restaurants.
Okay.
This could be awful, but could be amazing. You take a long chicken sandwich, put a McDonald's apple pie in the middle.
That sounds horrible. The long chicken sandwich, you're on the right path though. Long chicken.
I'm trying to think of anything else they have at. Oh, I don't know if they still have it, but I think Burger King used to have good French toast sticks.
Oh.
You take the long chicken sandwich, you take off the mayonnaise and the lettuce, you put the French toast sticks in there.
Oh, that might actually be good. That's a good one. So the McGriddle comes with like a hash brown on the side, but maybe not. Maybe you get some KFC French fries because those French fries are bomb. Those are really good. Mm-hmm. You put a couple of those in the McGriddle, and there you get your potato in the McGriddle because it doesn't come with potato in it.
It's good.
Yeah. Or you get some Jack in the Box curly fries and you put them, Del Taco has a burrito version of their chicken soft taco.
Yeah.
I don't prefer it over the chicken soft taco because it's like the perfect ratio of ingredients for the chicken soft taco. But if you get that burrito and you put some curly fries in it, you get some potato in the
it's like a California burrito. Yeah.
It's like a California burrito, exactly. Yeah. But it's also like a Del Taco chicken soft taco burrito.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good
stuff. That's all the questions I have over here.
Yeah, same.
All right, cool. Well, anyways, thanks everybody for tuning in. Thanks everybody for bearing with us while we deal with the loss of our friend. We really appreciate your guys' patience and understanding in us switching things up a little bit. And hopefully we'll see you all for the Enforcers celebration tonight.
Yes.
Over at twitch.tv/Stephen Larson at 6:30 Pacific, 9:30 Eastern. Till next time, we'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.